He'll be here for the BK7 and running in our UAS division. And there is Mr. Cahill now. Here we go. Right on, Danny Cahill. Welcome to the Ford Cook Designs in the Seat. Appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Terry.
Yeah, right on. So, quickly, kind of bring us up to date. Who is Danny Cahill?
Just a racer, man. My dad raced karts back in the 90s, and then he kind of got me into it when I was like 13 or so, and then from there on out, we've just been picking it up, just kind of hitting all the races we can, and we've been big on the four-strokes, though, like the World Formulas and the Animals and stuff like that, and then so then we decided to try the dirt out like 4 or 5 years ago, and then from there we've been doing the clone stuff, and been trying to get that class built up and trying to get it to grow. So every day we try to get new competitors in that class, and we do what we can. But it's been a hell of a ride for the last 10 years.
Wow, that's awesome. So now mainly asphalt. I know you were concentrating there for a long time, running the Northwest Gold Cup and doing a lot of stuff in the four-stroke area there. Was there a reason why you kind of left that? Was it dollars, or did you want to try your hand on the asphalt, or where were you at with that?
We did asphalt for about 8 years or so, and just wanted to try something new. I got on the dirt, and I loved it ever since, and that was kind of where we wanted to put our main focus on from here on out. And so I think eventually, someday in the near future, we're going to hop into the Yamaha class. That's kind of our next adventure.
Well, yeah, I would say with the way you've been killing it in the clone class, that might be not a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to run against some younger competition. It's great running with those guys, and it's good to help some of the guys who don't have a lot of experience out there kind of learn. I don't know how to race in a close pack like that, and eventually, hopefully that class can grow and we can get some other younger talent in that class. But, eventually I'd like to get into a bigger class like the Yamaha class, because that seems like a more competitive group of guys, and I'd like to see how I can hold up against them.
Yeah, right on. And not that you're dogging the guys there now, but I mean, you have pretty much owned it, except for the last couple of weeks, you kind of struggled. I saw, you had some motor problems, and that always, that's never any fun. But you got things figured out for the BK?
Yeah, we built a couple of new motors. So, we lost our main motor 2 races ago, so we threw on the backup, and that one actually held up pretty good. We hadn't ran that motor in about 3 years, so it was kind of interesting to see how well it held up. And then last race we had a bunch of valve problems, and then we lost the carburetor at the end of the main event, so we lost power. So hopefully we can get things turned around for the BK.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a tough weekend. And those are always, that's always a tough deal when you got problems, because then once it starts, it's kind of like what is it? Once it kind of gets flowing, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we couldn't catch a break that day. I mean, it was whatever anything that was going to happen, it was going to happen. So we were just trying to deal with it one incident at a time, and we were just loose, and then we were tight, and then we were fighting the motor, and it was just one of those days that a lot of racers they need to experience that, and then they can eventually appreciate winning. And certainly it humbled me, so it's good. After winning the first 4 races, it kind of put me in perspective, as in like, hey, this is some things I got to work on. I'm not perfect, so it's good though. It's good to look at that and have those days to help yourself build confidence for the next race.
Absolutely. So you tell me you're all dialed in, ready to go for the BK, right? You're pretty sure you got the motor squared away?
Yeah, we built a brand new Predator motor for that race, and then so we're going to pull that one out, and we got another backup motor built up too, so just in case. But so we're pretty much ready to go. We just got to break it in probably this weekend, and then get ready to hammer down on the 30th.
And I haven't heard, so I don't know. There may be some guys. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe you can help me out a little bit. What's the biggest difference between maybe the AKRA class and your class? Is it just more or less what you can do to the motor, or would one be legal in the other class?
Our class is pretty much it's pretty much open as far as our rules are going with the motor building. We can do. I mean, the biggest thing that we have is restricted is our cam size. Like, the biggest cam we can run is a 252. But as far as anything else goes, we can pretty much run whatever we want. AKRA is mostly, they have a certain kind of, I'm assuming they have a certain set of rules that they have to go by as far as motor goes, but their tires are different and their setup is different, and we can do tire treatment and stuff like that, and they can't. So that's kind of the big difference.
I see.
There is mostly tires.
Right. So, yeah, and like I said, I haven't heard as far as coming up from California if there's any guys that are going to be, either legal to run in that class or not. So I don't know. Normally you guys have a semi-decent turnout, but I don't know. There might be more. So do you have a strategy going into the BK, how you're going to attack it?
Just how to attack every race, just have to. It's more of it's a mental thing too, and it's you just gotta learn. You gotta adapt to the track and the condition that it's in, and I walk the track quite a bit throughout the day, and I see how it is, if it's tacky, if it's slick, and then I set up for that, and then just throughout the day, like in between breaks and stuff, I'll go out and check the track again and see how it is and how it's holding up, and mostly it's just kind of like you just gotta go out there and run your best against some of those guys. And if it's competition from out of town, you're not really sure how they are until you see them, and and then you gotta base your performance off of that. And so I don't know. I mean, we're ready to go. I mean, we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we do get some guys out there from California. I'd like to race against a couple other people if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it says Ford Cook says he's got one guy going to be running AKRA, and the other guy, he's got one coming up running Super Sport. So that'll be cool. Some new blood in there. But, I wanted to ask you, so you did a lot of Gold Cup stuff, which is mainly, road race asphalt. What was the biggest adjustment that you had to make coming from that running speedway? Because, there's so many guys that say, I don't like the speedway. Yeah, some I love. I mean, don't you think, maybe you can tell me, do you think it would help your asphalt driving by running the indoor when there's nothing going on the dirt?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can run all year round, why not? That's kind of one of those things. It's like, it's almost like rain racing in a way, trying to slide it out but not lose control. And it definitely helps you set up for turns too, and like the apex and stuff like that. And it's more of just like an apex practice as far as that's concerned. So if you want to just keep hitting the same spot time and time again, like that's what you need to focus on. And asphalt, yeah, it's left and right, but setting up for the turns and stuff on dirt definitely will help you out for asphalt and Cup summertime and stuff like that. So yeah, if you can race all year round and get more seat time, then I see all the advantages in the world for that.
Wow, that's awesome. So now, what was your biggest adjustment coming from that? Was it is there a big speed difference?
Setting up stagger, trying to figure out how to set up stagger on a kart with no suspension was kind of the tricky part. So we were just trying to, it was just a guessing game at first for us. We were just trying to figure out how to always turn left. So we just kind of set, the caster and camber and adjusted all that stuff, and then set up the front end, and we hit it right on the nail as far as setting up for this track here. So I haven't really adjusted much as far as that goes. But when the track changes, you got to adjust for that, and that's kind of one of our biggest keys. Is for us, it's mostly we adjust it with tire pressure and stuff like that. That's how we kind of adjust for it when the track changes on us.
Man, that's amazing. Because I remember saying when I was doing the big car stuff, I said, man, if you took me and I didn't know, and all you did was change a pound of air pressure. I honestly, I don't know that I could have told you, you guys changed the pound, or you guys changed the air pressure. I don't think I had the seat to be able to feel that kind of stuff. You guys are amazing when you can decide, and actually feel, a pound of air pressure change. I mean, I find that incredibly cool.
Yeah, what really threw me off was how low the air pressure we run in these tires. Because from asphalt you're running about 10 or 11 more pounds of air, and in here we're running about 5 pounds, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I can like almost press my tire all the way down. I don't know, but that was one of the things, was trying to figure out what kind of tire pressure. We went into this thing completely blinded, and we were just guessing right off the bat, and we figured it out right away, which was pretty sweet. And I have no complaints. I love dirt, and if you never tried it, I certainly advise you to try it. Try it out sometime.
Man, that's yeah. See, and that's what I want to hear. I mean, I'm not saying it's got to be your favorite. It doesn't have to be your number one thing. But man, I mean, number one, it teaches you more about your sport. You get to see a whole nother bunch of folks, and a lot of them are the same folks, but man, you get to meet a whole nother set of folks, which are really awesome. I mean, all the folks in racing are awesome, but you know what I mean? It just exposes you to more about your sport. And to me, I was thinking, hey, this has got to maybe help setup wise. I mean, because you're always staring, if all you do is stare at asphalt and how to get set up, this just gives you another avenue to maybe look at things and go, man, why wouldn't this work on the asphalt, or vice versa?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've seen a few of the Gold Cup guys come out lately. So like I saw Zimmer out there and Ward, and and I think that's pretty sweet that those guys are coming out, because right now, I mean, there are races going on, but as far as locally it goes, I mean, there's they got the Winter Series, but why not try dirt? It certainly can't hurt. So that's the way I look at it. And it's like racing in the rain. Trying to set it out and trying to figure out how to dial in the car all the time, because the track is always changing on you, and it keeps you on your toes, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and and here's the other thing too, is which is kind of cool, I think. I mean, yes, if you're gonna really step it up, and you're gonna be the Danny Cahills, the Ryan Diottis, the Joe Stackmans, the Ronnie Coxes, the Shane Smiths, all those, the Ford Cooks, all those guys. But if you're just getting in and you just want to get your feet wet and you want to get things right, you don't need state-of-the-art stuff. You can come out here and run pretty competitively with, I mean, really, you could come with a sprint cart if you really wanted to. Oh, yeah,
definitely, Like when we first came out there, we didn't even have tire prep. Like we just threw on some tires, some used tires, this little $100 Harbor Freight motor, and that's how I learned. And then eventually we started, throwing in some money towards it, and then we got competitive. And that's kind of how I'd like to see a class come out there and just be a sealed motor, and definitely I think it definitely help out the numbers for this Salem Speedway stuff, because I know they've been down, and if we can get something that's a little more affordable for some people, I think we can get more guys out there. And I'm hoping eventually we can get a clone class out there that's sealed, or even an L206 class. That's what I'd like to go see hit the dirt sometime.
Well, now let me ask you. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. Maybe not bad, but I mean, had you thought about maybe getting one of those AKRA clones and maybe go seeing if you could? Hatch has been kind of owning that AKRA deal, so that looks like a pretty competitive class.
Yeah, we actually have the AKRA stuff, and we were going to run the outdoor, and it ended up only being 4 races, so we kind of bummed us out about that. And we, half the races we were going to miss because we were going to be out of town. So eventually, I think probably this summer we're going to run AKRA at Willamette Speedway, down there in Albany. And then, maybe Willamette Speedway, and if they have a race down there. But, yeah, I think my next step, if not Yamaha, then definitely AKRA. Wow. I'd like to see how I can run with those guys.
Oh, yeah, I would too. I think you'd be an awesome addition to that class, because, I mean, there's no slouches in there. You got Hatch, you got Normandin, you got Brian Graham. I mean, there's some guys that run pretty good. How about Justin DeMars? He ran really good last weekend, too, for a young gun, jumping in there with those guys. So, that's that's awesome. I'd like to see you do that. Of course, I'd like to see you do the Yamaha class too, because I know, and we're going to have him on here in a few weeks once